Wow, wow, wow. There we go again. Another great start to our night 2 of our Pokeno Auto Centre Speedway Awards of Excellence. Another round. A big thanks goes out to Pokeno Autos Centre, and also big thanks to our guys that help us each week. Vasey Engineering, Paul Vasey, TWS, Technical Welding Services, Lowell Lala, who does, they both do plenty for the sport and plenty for us. And of course, our good friend, Mike at Repco Huntley. And of course, we better mention behind dams, you can't see at the moment, there's old Scoops, ice cream, best ice creams, and thick shakes and Waiukikins.
Yeah, 100%. Got to have a good ice cream, but I got to support those who support us as well. And that's what tonight is. We roll into night 2. I hope you enjoyed last night's show, 7 o'clock, nice and bright and early. And we continue on with a big night ahead. And I wish all of those who are out there in amongst the cold, freezing weather, hanging out there to get your tickets for one event coming up in February. But I hope you jumped on board. From all accounts, from what I heard about that, everyone buying tickets online, pretty well was smooth sailing. So it sounded pretty good.
Mate, I got a story for you. If it wasn't smooth sailing,
oh,
no, I got told a story today. We have a thing in our Speedway, it's called Speedway etiquette. We all know what it's about. We've all been around Speedway a long time, haven't we? What's Speedway etiquette? You can leave your bag somewhere or your chair somewhere parked up at a track, stuff like that.
Yep.
Good as gold, man. You go back, that's where it'll be when you get back. That's Speedway etiquette, right?
Yep.
So you get up, you go early, you line up at the ticket box to get your tickets. You and everyone else is in a big queue. And then one dude thinks he's better than everybody else and decides to just walk along and park himself in the doorway in front of everybody, go through and threaten the people behind the counter if they don't serve him first, that he'll talk to their bosses and everything. So, Michael from Hawke's Bay, that's all I know your name is. Well done, mate. You won the award for Dick of the Week of non-Speedway etiquette this week, mate. Michael, that's all we know. Michael from Hawke's Bay. Unfortunately, another Hawke's Bay person decided to jump the queue ahead of everybody else. What obviously just didn't care. Obviously, he's far more important than everyone else. But, yeah. If you know who Michael is, give him a big thumbs up for Dick of the Week. Yeah. There you go.
Hey,
I just want to bring it up because, we're talking about that all the time, Speedway and family and helping each other. The guy took it to a new level. So, well done, mate.
Yeah, well deserved. So we're not going to celebrate Michael tonight, though, but we are going to celebrate many others for your Excellence Awards. Of course, just reiterating for those who just tuned in for night 2, Ems is a big league fan. Loves the NRL, and obviously it's like the Delhi Ems, and it's over points over consistently racing in the classes that he selected for the awards. This is our 3rd running out of the season for it.
Yeah, that's right, Kins. And I'll just harp back to we were just talking about what was his name again? Books.
Michael.
Mike.
Yeah, Michael. I'll have to shout him a hangi or two. So yeah, well done, Michael. Yeah, not only Dick of the Week, but you can be hangi of the week too. Well done, bro. Yes, boys, we're back again for night 2 of the Pokeno Auto Centre Speedway Awards of Excellence. A big shout out to those who are tuning into the telecast tonight, whether you're watching through Facebook, the Cockpit Media Racing and Media channel, otherwise on our YouTube channel as well. Big thank you to these 2 lovely gentlemen above me for partnering up with myself once again. 3rd year running, guys. And just as I said last night, it's it's not a pleasant thing waking up 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. sometimes every Sunday morning to collate all the data, points and results to put these things together. But once again, as I said last night, again, it's the reassuring moments that drivers they message in during the week to reassure that they got the right points or the right results for me to do. And also the fans that do back me on my OnlyEms platforms, whether you're on my Facebook page, on Instagram as well as Snapchat and TikTok too. So whatever platform you are sort of supporting me on, a big thank you to you guys for backing, getting in behind me and supporting what I do. Love what I do, as well as I love my rugby league. This is how this whole thing all started, boys. Now, I talked about it last night, and yeah, but just as much as I love my rugby league, I love my Speedway as well. I just thought, we could kind of, have a scrum, bring them both together. So,
yeah.
It's just as I said before, 3 years running now, and looking forward to after last night's awards night. Looking forward to crowning some more recipient winners after the 25-26 season, boys. Yeah.
Cool. Can we do get a quick recap of who won what last night? Then have you got that information?
Yeah. I've actually got rid of the graphics from last night, but I can reacquaint ourselves, boys, after last night's awards night of the Pokeno Auto Centre Speedway Awards of Excellence night number 1. Our just to recap, and our winning recipients from the Alan Wakeling medalist was Jonathan Allard, and our winner for the Roger Bertram medalist, making it 3 on the trot, was Mr. Brad Lane. So. There we are. Kins is he was a bit more organised than me, so he's able to bring up those graphics there for us. So yeah, Jonathan Allard, your Alan Wakeling medalist winner, and Brad Lane for the 3rd year in a row winning the Roger Bertram medalist. And for those who don't know, he's off to Australia today to do his go-karts. You know, he loves his go-karts just as much as he races his modifieds as well. And yeah, we wish those guys all the best in racing over there, representing Aotearoa New Zealand. I'm sure they'll go over there and kick ass or kick kangaroo, as we do know it, boys. And they might show them a little bit of, give them a bit of hangi as well on the side. But yeah, and of course the Waikato Raiders, winners of the Lega Speed teams echelon there. And a big thank you to Murray Goodley from Lega Speed Multimedia for coming on board to support their initiative, boys. There's a recap of the awards night, night number 1 from last night. Yeah, let's get ready for night number 2.
Excellent. Well done. Well done. Well done. And we also had the man himself, Brett Parsons, join us and, taking a little backward step there. Who knows when he's going to get out on the track, but we appreciate, like Booker said right at the start, his ongoing support, and good to catch up with him. And no doubt he'll be supporting a team that he had a bit of a bandana on the back of his seat there, I see, on Friday. But hey, that's what it's all about. Yeah. Supporting those out there as well, mate.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Deacons. And I don't really watch too much rugby these days, but those who know me personally, I know I come from the Waikato area. So yeah, I am a bit of a Chiefs boy in a sense, but I'm sure that it'll be an uphill battle for those guys going up against the Satyrs, man. Those guys do know how to play finals rugby, and they've got the results over the years to back that up, So if you are heading to the rugby game this weekend, be sure to enjoy yourself. It's going to be a cracker, that's for sure.
But I don't know why any of the other teams are even bothering. The Hurricanes are going to take the whole lot anyway, bro. Hurricanes
and Blues on Saturday, I think it is.
I don't know how you can go and watch rugby game at, they call it a Cape Town, but it actually looks like a rubbish bin. Most times I've seen rugby games there, you can see rubbish swirling around in the wind. The windy place that Wellington is, but aside from all the rugby, don't forget the rugby league's on too. So yep, up the wires.
Yeah, you got to remember, Hurricanes don't just represent Wellington though. Hey, come on, remember that. Hey.
Yeah. All those teams represent their franchise within reasons, But Henry Stadium, from memory now, down there in Wellington, without the HNRY is the spelling of the stadium now. So you could say Henry Stadium. Yeah. Yeah, big thing that's coming
out. They changed it.
I think it'll look better, and I'm sure the guys who are watching the show can be able to agree with me, boys, in saying that I just think it'd be better for Speedway track in there. Doesn't it just make more sense to have a Speedway track? Come on, give me in the comments, people. I know you agree with me. Come on, say the same thing about the Te Kaha Stadium here in Christchurch, guys. I went there and looked at it at one open day, and I went inside, and I'm like, yep, it's got a roof on. All they need to do is put a big Speedway track in here, and we're away.
Oh, wouldn't that be perfect, eh?
Yes, indeed.
Oh, look at that. There she is. Still Papa Smooth and everything. Oh, I am tanned. I am rather tanned today.
He went and got a haircut and a fake. He went under the sunbed there, Samantha.
I was waiting for sunbed outside. Yeah.
Mate, I just tell all the ratepayers to pay for it. I'm all good. You know how it rolls. The perks of being a counsellor. Anyway, all jokes aside, we're here on the serious matter because it's accumulated over, I think, from memory, 20-odd plus weeks. The Speedway Excellence Awards, where Aaron gets himself committed, jumping online from around 3 or 4 in the morning to collate all of these points last night. So we congratulated 3 recipients, and tonight we've got a few more to get through. So instead of prolonging the whole night, and we don't get out of here till 8:30, 9 o'clock. We might as well kick into it, eh?
Yeah, that's right, Kinsey. Yeah, we will kick into it because our next guest coming up, need to get the kiddies off the bed very shortly. I can understand that from a parent's point of perspective, but we will roll through the graphics for the meantime. Kinsey, if you're able to bring up the first graphic, please. Ladies and gentlemen, we are off to the Tony CARDWELL Medalist 4 Super Saloon Racing Excellence, boys. Real quickly, though, the first impressions come to mind when you think of Tony CARDWELL. For me personally, I just can't go past the Star Spangled Banner, boys. The Star Spangled Banner USA livery, absolutely iconic car with the absolutely iconic number 8. That just stood out for me personally. He went over the years 4 times. He was crowned the New Zealand champion. We'll speak about his results very shortly. But quickly, boys, your first impressions of the man TC?
Oh, yeah, for me, it's that iconic car, mate. It's just that's what you remember, innit? And his achievements itself, mate. Like we talked about modifiers last night in saloons. I mean, he was up against some pretty top cars as well around him, wasn't he? To outperform. I mean, you think of his era. Wouldn't you love to see a race with all those guys back on the track at Waikaraka, eh?
Oh, absolutely. We spoke about of the Roger Bertram medalist last night, and I don't care. I'll say it again. I don't care what anybody else says, but the 90s is absolutely the best era for speedway racing here in this country. And from the modifieds were the same. The super slings were the same as well. We got TC, Skinny Colson, Jeff Fletcher, Dean Waddell. Those are boys. Do I really need to go on? Do I really? There's some pretty household names there, and as much like Roger, we spoke about it last night. These guys were willing to put it all on the line. It didn't matter if it was a club night or a championship. These were guys who were doing it week in and week out. So it's no surprise that drivers today, and even the future, we draw on inspiration from guys like these. So it's good for us to always reflect back on the past so that we can look forward to the future.
Yeah, definitely. My memories of TC goes back to the red colour car way back in the day. And when I look at that iconic number 8 that's in the graphic there, as a kid, I used to draw it like that with kind of 2 diamonds when I was a young kid drawing it to make it look like that. I remember that drawing all that type of stuff. But, when I take a look at that picture that's up there in the top right-hand corner of your graphic, and I look at who's going to join us very soon, man, what a spinning image, eh? What a bloody spinning image. When I look at it, I was like, what the hell? But, he was the guy that was down south where it all started with the trade, came up here to Auckland, and so many around him over that time. And I've seen some old footage where it showed TC on the Facebook, what he did in the saloon class. And you mentioned it, you two gentlemen, around some of the caliber of drivers, there was one race I watched where he was in the big red car and just had that foot flat down in the south, and he was just passing him, negotiating way through. It came to a bit of a stop. But he was it basically, and there's so many names, the Pierce name, the Cowley name, and, I remember that Aussie Test series where you had some of those big names, Alan King George, Jennings, the list just goes on. There's the Chamberlain name. The list just, mate, it's just, then you got down south, eh? I could sit here talk all night about Super Saloon because, to be honest, that was one of my favourite classes in the 90s when I first got introduced to the Old Bay Park in the late 80s and 90s. I was hooked on Super Saloons back then. Loved it.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Kinsey. We'll switch to the next graphic. We'll quickly touch on the some of his results he got on the national stage. And as we see it there, 4 times he was New Zealand's Super Saloon champion, 6 times, boys. We Kinsey spoken about before. Obviously, his origins based down in the mainland before he was shipped up north. And as it shows right there, 6 times he was the South Island champion as well. So, just talk about some pretty high-profile results there. We'll skip to the next graphic as well, Kinsey. We'll talk about the previous winners of our awards. Our inaugural winner back in 23 and 24, Steve Flynn, and of course we had last season's champion, Craig CARDWELL. And we'll find out shortly who the winner is for this for the past season just gone. But before we do that, we better bring our guest in because he needs to get his kids off to bed real shortly. But we've got the man himself representing on Tony CARDWELL's behalf. You could probably say he's the Tony CARDWELL from Timu, but no, I'm not saying that. But, the man himself, CARDWELL, son of the legend. son of the legend, the man himself, TC Craig Cardwell. Welcome onto the show, mate. And you're defending champion from last season, looking to hand the baton over to somebody else this season, yeah?
Yeah, sorry, Dad can't be here. He's had a container and so he gets a bit wrecked after the day. So getting him out past 6 o'clock's a big ask. So yeah, he's been busy unloading tyres and materials up from the States. So yeah, had a bit on.
Tell us, mate, your first recollections of Dad racing. You know, even a little bit. What was your first recollection you could remember as a child of Tony when he was racing?
Obviously a few when I was younger, but I remember probably the most vivid one would be 96 when he won in Dunedin and he ran out of fuel and then the tow truck had to push him around and all his workmates came up dressed because he owned petrol stations back then and they all came up in a van, I think about 10 of them, they all wore red overalls. They're called the Red Oval Gang. So people probably at that meeting remember them running around and they were ranged from 20 to 25. So they were just on the piss the whole time, just menaces. And then I believe the after party, I was a bit young, but the after party was even bigger in Dunedin down back then. That's probably where I get my shenanigans from. So that was probably, one of many vivid memories, but pretty cool celebrating on the roof and getting pushed around the tow truck with the flag in his hand. So yeah, it's cool.
Just going in regards to the graphic of your car that you currently race now, Craig, you know, very reminiscent of Dad's car back in the day. Have you ever yourself thought of maybe changing away from that and doing something that you may wanted the car to look like for you to drive? Did you ever cross that, or has Dad made a decision on it's got to look like this?
No, initially when I first started racing, he had silver wheels, I wanted black wheels. And he said, well, I can't remember the deal. I think it was if you win a championship, you can change them. And we had a good night in Gisborne one night and we won the North Island, so I got to do black wheels. And then I tried then we changed the body shape and stuff. But with the American flag thing, I actually really do like it.
Okay.
But I've worked with AWS over the years and created a more camo kind of modern style. So I've created the American flag, what Andrew has, to kind of keeping everyone's thoughts at bay kind of thing. So it keeps what he likes on the car and what I like and stuff. So I incorporate, like this year I had a girl on the front with guns, and the year before I had an eagle, and so I bring in my own sort of stuff. Yeah, that's it. So where that girl came from, you probably when I was really asking where it came from. But when we went out to the States last year, we stayed with the team that we raced with, in the camper van, and the youngest boy took us out to their farmland, and we just got guns, fireworks, and made bombs and everything, and went AWOL on it. And then we were just talking about it then that we should do a hot trick with guns, and that's where that came from. And then I messaged Andrew straight away and just got underway.
He does a good job, doesn't he? Andrew from AWS does very good work. He does Mark Osborne's, I think, too, doesn't he? And a few others he does around. Yeah.
He does a little bit of stuff, but he just knows my style. I guess I'm particular in what I like. I mean, he's done all that merchandise and everything. And even I had the eagle on the roof. I don't now have the top cap, but I designed the eagle like a musty sort of eagle, kind of something different than the eagle being the American flag kind of thing. So
that's the top cat there.
Yeah, and I did that this year. So when I do it, he doesn't know what I'm doing. And then it's got to get done, and that's quite cool. And I put little things like I put a thing of the years that he's won his New Zealand titles and stuff, just a
nice
thing. But so going back to the design question, I mean, I can do whatever I want, but I still enjoy the American flag, but making it modern, creative, and then just putting my little touch on the side, which is the girl, eagle or whatever it may well be.
Very cool.
So yeah,
Have you spoken to Dad about his thoughts on him being naming rights for this award? What's his thoughts on that? Like, we asked that yesterday of some of them with their naming rights on it, and they, you know, I mean, to me, it's everybody seems to really want to battle to be that top on points for this AMS award, and all the saloon guys are keen to be on top for that Tony CARDWELL medalist. Have you spoken to him about that? How he feels about the awards?
yeah, he you know, he appreciates everything that you guys do behind the scenes. He's just so old school with social media stuff. He just doesn't. He's behind on it. You know what I mean? Like everything on the Facebook and stuff through work is run by my sister. He wouldn't know how to do it. He still struggles with texting and stuff.
Yeah.
So he doesn't like it. I'm like, oh, come do this. He's like, well, on the phone, like he just doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
But he's very appreciative of obviously being in the position he is with you guys running it under his name, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very
Cool.
AMs.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and there's we spoke about the same thing about Roger and Alan Wakeling last night. You know, it's just we grew up watching these guys a lot, with TC included. You know, we just, as I said last night, these were drivers that brought fans to their feet. You know, they're standing up on the rafters and they're cheering because they did things that defied you just wouldn't think it was humanly possible to do, but they done it. You know, and I spoke about it earlier in the telecast. You know, you wouldn't be surprised if drivers of today or even the future, they draw inspiration from legends like these. You know, and I just think for me personally, you know, sometimes you need to look back to go forward. You know, and when you look at things like these, you know, you start to appreciate the prestige, the prestige and the history of our sport, you know, and I'm not kind of disregarding what's happening nowadays, not in the present, but for me personally, yeah, I always like to look back, and you know, these were pioneering legends, you know, they're even pioneering legends before these guys we're talking about now, you know, so. And it's, you know, Speedway, as we know now, it's a generational thing. You know, we just see families through generations, and it'll still happen for years to come. And the best thing we can do is, you know, we just keep it alive, you know. But yeah, always drawing on inspiration of what's happened before us, because they were the guys that, you know, that have done it before us, you know. And as I said before, we draw inspiration from that to continue forward. But yeah, it's just me anyway.
It's interesting when you say, like, I mean, we've had many talks on race trips to and forward from the track, but the way the sport's changed from when he started versus what it is now, and, you know, put the money factor aside, yes, that has changed, but so has everything. But the time and effort that teams put in back then and versus now behind the scenes it's crazy, you know, and to be in the top week in, week out is, you know, it's just hours and hours, and it's not just necessarily working on the car, it's thinking about it during the day and night. And, you know, when he, you know, they would go to work, they'd work on it one night, get drunk, maybe do it again, and then race Saturday, party, drunk, race Sunday, you know, like it was just a rock star lifestyle back then. And to the point where he was racing enough and winning enough to pay for this racing. You know, it's American sort of spec now that we look at that, where we race for, well, wouldn't even pay you, well, sometimes wouldn't even pay your entry fee at the gate, you know, excluding travel costs and then running costs. Yeah, so it's, you know, it is cool to look back, and, you know, the heroes, even when I was a kid, you know, you mentioned them before. It's just sort of new age people would come through, and a lot of second generations and third generations, which is cool, and all grades. You know, and, you know, like Brad, you know, the Lane family, you know how much time and effort they put in, you know, like it's not even just a modified, like the go-karting, you know, now he's an Aussie racing go-kart, so it's,
Yeah.
you know, he's 10 tenths, that boy, like that's take my hat off to him, you know, like he gives it his all, plus up. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Brad was talking to us last night. He said off air that he was going to have a bit of a switch around and you jump in his mod, he'd jump in your saloon and do a few laps.
It'd be awesome to see him going in their late 4-bar style cars. He is a serious wheelman. I race him in the go-karts and dirt karts, and he's a light little fella, but probably double his weight. But he's a talented boy, definitely.
Oh, well, I suppose we should move on to we'll let Craig go and put the kiddies down, and we can move on to announcing who is the winner of the Cardwell Award, because it's getting exciting.
Well, thanks for having us, guys, and we appreciate everything you do for our sport, and and keep everyone in contact during the off season and do these awards in time. Like you say, you're up 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. Take my hat off to you, man. It's epic. And I wish the new crown champion all the best. I don't want to mention any names. Got close on points. But yeah, I look forward to seeing it.
All right.
Awesome.
Cheers, Craig.
Awesome. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, well, there we have it, race
Okay.
fans. Craig Cardwell coming on behalf of his father, Tony. We did try to get Tony on the show, but obviously, as Craig had said, it's just busy with mahi and stuff, which is totally understandable. And we better get a move on. But our finalists, boys, that will go on to contest it is we got Grant Flynn, Chris Cowling, and Steve Flynn, your finalists for the Tony Cardwell Medalist Award. And I will, as per done last night, I'll say it again. I will mention the finalists, which I have, and then I'll mention the points within the top 3 in no order. And then from there, I will announce the winner, the winning recipient. So we've just announced our finalists and their points in no order: 118, 127, and 180. The points for those 3 drivers. Your winner and winning recipient for the Tony Cardwell Medalist Award for season 20. Your winner is Chris Cowling. He is your winner of the Tony Cardwell Medalist for season 25 and 26. And just like last night, I will quickly touch on the some of his stats from the season just gone. So he had, it shows here on the Speedway app, 9 events. Of those 9 events, he had race 32 for 10 wins, 22 podiums, 28 top 5s, 12 times he set the best lap records. His averaging finishing position, boys, 2nd place. That is unbelievable. Total laps of 435, and his total race time 3 hours, 35 minutes, and 11 seconds. Your Tony Cardwell Medalist winner, Chris Cowling. Might as well bring him into the show, boys. Oh, there we have it, Chris. Man, it's just, you had a very good season 25-26. I don't think we need to grab on about your results because you pretty much won it all, man. And now you've gone on to win the Tony Cardwell Award for Super Saloon Racing Excellence.
Yeah, no, it was. Thank you. It was one of those years, wasn't it? So, but average finishing spot of 2. There's a bit of room for improvement there, but it's pretty good. So.
I don't know what you're mucking around at, to be honest.
What would you had to done to get average?
Win everything.
Win everything, eh?
Every race.
Just about.
Yeah, it was pretty close, but I think we went the whole season without a DNF as well, so that was pretty impressive.
Oh, what? Wow.
On that note, though, Chris, going a season we had a DNF in a sport where you can rub and a tire and that's gone. That's a pretty good run. Does that involve a lot of luck, do you think, or is that? I mean, that's something that is in its own an achievement, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely a bit of luck involved. I mean, I think it was North Island Champs first heat race. We had a left rear flat, but managed to nurse that home. And then in the first race at the New Zealand title at Napier, actually, we had a right rear going down. So managed to nurse that home. There's definitely luck involved with that. Don't get me wrong, but some years it just happens to go your way, and other years it doesn't. So this was just, I'll take it this year, because next year might be a totally different story. But it's a bit of credit to the boys and how much effort they put in during the week as well. So definitely the maintenance program and everything that goes on there makes sure everything runs pretty smoothly, and they're doing a good job by all accounts. So I can't complain too much.
That's awesome. So do you as a driver, I mean, this has been going for 3 years now, do you as a driver, look for AMS's page to see
100%.
those pop up, to see where you're sitting and what you're doing? Does that sort of, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like it's sort of based as well about getting to the track and being on the track all the time as well, which is a big part of it. Do you sort of look at those and think, oh yeah, I'm up there this week, that's good, that was a good weekend? Or do they do any of that, or is it just every now and again you have a look and think, oh yeah, cool, I'm there?
Nah, I get pretty involved in it, eh? I think my alarm goes off at 5 a.m. on Sunday, seeing if there's any results there. But but no, I certainly follow it, and even to the point where I kind of like look at who's around me, or who's in that top 10, and see if they're racing this weekend. If we're not, then I'm like low-key hoping that they have a bad run or anything like that. And no, it's a great little incentive for the season as well, and that it's not just about finishing, but it's about the amount of meetings you do as well. So it's quite good. It keeps you going, and I love it. The last couple of years, I think last year I was pretty close to Craig towards the end, and I had a bad run at the end, and I was actually quite gutted, because I was like, we had a good run. So this is like the fifth title, and the Speedway title there. So it's cool. I love it.
Cool.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's awesome, mate. And what about, sorry, I'm taking over. I've got all these questions running through my head, skins and names, but what about your memories on Tony CARDWELL? I mean, your family's been around a long time too, racing. You must have grown up watching him as well.
Yeah, a wee bit. It was probably more so the later stages of his career once he'd moved up north, because predominantly they were South Island based. But certainly for me there was the iconic red number 8 car of his, and then the latter years the Stars and Stripes, and I can remember Craigie in the mini stock actually with the Stars and Stripes, and I'm pretty sure he was 88 at that point. So he was this little bigger. And but yeah, it's there's a lot of generational guys there that we got to grow up watching with Dad racing. Jennings, Colson, talk about King George. There was a lot of them in that era. And then later on in Dad's career, Waddell and Fletcher, and there was it was very cool era. Sitting back now and looking at what those guys did, and for us, like battling Craig and Sam when he was there, it just carries on the legacies of those names, which is pretty cool. So, and it's not always one name dominating each era. Like TC was definitely a dominant force in his era. Dean did an exceptional job as well, and then I'd like to think now that we're kind of ahead of Craigie and Sammy for now, anyway. And but that'll change again as the years goes by.
No, you're 100% right. We talk about reflecting on those eras of the drivers. That's all the names. And I got a bit of a memory. I think from back in the day, you took the car back. Might have been not the season just gone, previous season, back to one of Dad's retro colors, And I was thinking, you said about the red number 8 iconic thing. How cool would it be to have here I go again, a retro round?
Yeah,
we want to see that all the time. We want to see all that every class. Yeah,
I reckon that'd be cool at just every year. Say like the North Island title or something like that, the Grand Prix or something everyone chooses. That's the set one that we're all going to do retro schemes. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. There'd be some neat cars and create a lot of memories for sure.
Well, talking of creating memories, look, and thanks, Madu, he sent this photo of the celebration you and your dad, that spoke volumes on how proud he was of what you achieved at Miami. You can just see it in the photo. The emotions pretty well is endless in that image, and that's what this is about, how we reflect these names that are associated with each award. That photo will stick around for such a long time. Yeah, Chris?
Yeah, definitely. And it's it's so cool having those guys capture those moments as well. You know, there's a lot that goes into it, and a New Zealand title, as everyone knows, and they're not that easy to win. And yeah, I mean, it was just, you can do everything right up till that last race, and then something can go wrong in that last race, and it just ruins your whole weekend for you. So yeah, we'd obviously had a hell of a year leading up to that, and then obviously all the everyone would suggest, you know, we were hot favorite, and it was just, there was a lot of pressure on ourselves as well. And yeah, the first night with the rain and everything, and I hate a wet track, and we went out in the first race, and it was probably the wettest track I've raced on in about 5 years or something like that. So it was just like, but we managed to get through everything, and yeah, and then off the front row there with Mark, and I think we had 3 restarts maybe, so you know, just adds to the drama.
Yeah.
But it was a fantastic weekend, and yeah, having that moment with Dad. I mean, we have a little talk every now and again, and I was sitting in the car. It was on the car lift, and before the last race, and it was one of those moments where you don't even have to say much to each other, and it was just kind of like we knew, you know, like we just know each other that well, and it's kind of like, yeah, sweet. And I knew what he was going to say without even saying it. So yeah, and afterwards it's always cool. I can't remember where it was. I think it was my first New Zealand title I won in Stratford in the saloon, and I've got better at hugging him after the race, because I'm pretty sure the first time I did it, I had my helmet on and kind of knocked him straight in the head. He's getting a little bit older, so I got to look after him now. So
Awesome. Well, look, congratulations on your accolade tonight, and here you go, mate. That's the little thing I got off you from.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Yeah, one
He's been showing off his toy cars all night. Hey, he wanted to go out and play with them for ages.
yeah, all the big kids come out.
He'll probably bring them to you this season, Chris, and get you to sign that, I would say.
Yeah, I'm going
to. But yeah, just thank you to everyone. Hey, Ames, what you do, mate? That's this is cool. Like I say, I generally follow it pretty hard through the year. So when you leave me hanging out for a couple of weeks waiting for an update, it's a bit stressful. But no, it's great what you do, and yeah, what you guys do to promote the Speedway and everything. So very cool, very well done, and yeah, kudos to you boys as well.
Awesome.
Awesome, hey, appreciate the award, eh? And makes it all worth it, doesn't it, mate?
Oh, exactly. You know, he said before he was up at 5. I was, oh, mate, you better make up at 4 with me, and we'll just do the points together.
I'll do one class for you.
I'll even give you some extra points because you helped me out too.
They might say it's rigged if I want
it. Awesome. All right, Chris, we'll get back. I know the little ones might be still running and whatnot, but hey, thanks again. Yeah, well done.
Appreciate it. Thank you, boys.
Thanks, mate. Have a good one.
Chris. Thank
you.
Well,
there we go. It's our Tony Cardwell Award winner, Chris Cowley, mate. And his points were he was well ahead, wasn't he? I think Ems.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, Books, and I'll get Kin to bring up the final top 10.
Oh, hell.
Disregard the points right at the bottom. I think Anne might have had too much hangi and put Thomas Stanaway on 711, so I had too much. It's all good, but here we go. From the top, before, yeah. Winning recipient, obviously, Chris Cowling there, 180. It was that's his day and night, boys, ahead of Grant Flynn there in second, 127. Was a Flynn there to complete the podium positions there, 118. Steve, Mark Osborne, he had a good season as well as Ashton Osborne, boys. He was probably my pick of the younger guys coming through, as well as Peter Bingston. He had a very strong end to the season 25-26 to get up as really high as he did. I think over the closing weeks, he actually come from outside the top 10 to get to where he is now. Jacob Flynn as well, he's been doing some awesome things racing down here in the South Island. Damien Orr, the ex-Superstock driver there. George Crawford, boys, we talked about him almost week in and week out, and just the mature head that he had on the young man's head there. It was just very solidifying of his position here within the top 10. And of course, Thomas Stanaway, no, that's not 711. It's supposed to be 71. But
yeah, I would give it to the wrong one. Take Chris's trophy off him now.
Well, he did say it was already rigged, so there it is. It's rigged. So, that's our top 10 for the Tony Cardwell medalist of Super Saloon Racing Excellence, boys. Well done.
Awesome. So that took us a while to get through today.
We're just talking about having a bit of a laugh. It looks a bit longer.
Yeah. Well, we won't hold ourselves up. We'll get on to the next one.
Let's move on to the next one.
REES. Yes, the Peter REES medalist for Stock Car Racing Excellence. We'll go real quickly with this one, boys. First impressions, books, go.
First impressions of what? Yes. Peter's career?
Yeah.
Look, there's lots. I've got some memories that, like, because I was around Palmy a lot, so and I used to pit for and help out a lot of the different crews down there, but even before Pete started. So I remember when Pete came on the scene as well, when I used to pit crew for Ross Barnaby, a good friend of mine from down that way, and Pete was telling me a while back that he was one of the guys that he looked up to when racing when he came in as well, was Ross, So when Pete came into the era, I think it was just when it was standard stocks had just come in, I think, or not long.
Yep.
So I remember him from way back then, and he certainly made a name for himself very quickly, didn't he, boys? And I've seen some old footage come up lately that is showing some of his old ways of what he does. But the thing that stands out for me the most, I suppose, nowadays is that he's still able to pedal it with those guys, those young fellas still, and still not give it like he used to, but still give as good as he gets when it comes into bunting out of the corners and into the corners. But he still pedals it, there's a lot of drivers his age that haven't still got that pace. I take my hat off to that, still going. And with what he's achieved in the sport, Ams, I can see why you chose him to be the to be the medalist honoree for it all.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, Books. And I mean, if you'd asked me that question, I think probably the thing that kind of spoke to me, other than the results, was his hard-hitting days. We all knew what an animal he was on the racetrack, and you probably have to go back to the 2000s to get an understanding of how devastating he was in a blocking role or an attacking role. And no, that was before the over-aggressive rules had come in, but before then it was you go as hard as you want. And he'd done it on a weekly basis. He was putting people on the wall, up the wall, roll over. But that's what the man he was good at. He was a true entertainer for sure. But yourself as well, Kims, real quickly.
Yeah, there's not much more I can really add to. You two boys have pretty well summed it up. And what's good about it is he still continues to do it today, be competitive as and what he's done with the evolution of the sport. He tends to bring creative ideas and with the development of the sport, which we've seen it grow a lot in the recent years. But his book said, from the early memories from down in the pits and teams memories, I could sit here and talk all day about what he's done in a teams racing car environment, but also to what he's achieved, whether it be in the stock car class or even in the super stock class. And he's a well-worthy recipient of this award to be named after, because he still does it today. When you take a look at the chassis that are out there now, honestly, in both classes, it's competitive. It's the families in amongst it as well. But there's not much more I can really say, really, what he's done, and he's given so much to the sport and still does. It's credit to him.
And still giving Ams, like he's putting up 2 front rims tonight for the winner of his award. Whoever wins his award tonight gets 2 free front rims. I mean, how good's that? Every year he's put up rims for the winner. So, I mean, still giving back, So I think that's neat as well, to be fair.
Yeah, to top it off, just for me on a personal note, to be at an event that I've attended for many decades and the opportunity to sit in the car, his car, twice, and be in the parade twice, that's one of the biggest highlights I'll ever remember. That opportunity to be in there and just being out there. I've jumped on many cars over the parades over the years, but to be sitting in the wheel of a guy with a name, REES, and to be sitting there behind the rest of the Giants team. That's something I'll never forget. And it's a proud moment of mine, actually, of those last couple of years. It was very cool. I just wanted to say that.
Pete reckoned that Kins had more fans than he did in the crowd, Ems. So.
I did.
Are you talking about the oscillating fans? Yeah.
They were chasing the bloody camera. They were chasing everywhere.
They were asking Pete to get out of the way. They wanted Kins's picture, you know.
Well, boys, we do. We've got the man sitting in the studio, but before we bring him in, we will talk about his results quickly on the national stage. Boys, 5 times he was the New Zealand Stock Car champion. He's just the one New Zealand Stock Car Grand Prix title as well as the North Island title. But for me personally, to have his name attached, it was the 5 New Zealand Stock Car titles the reason why I got him over the line as the naming behind for the stock car section for these awards. But just those 5 titles alone, man, is just like, well, what do? You know, he gets just win those 5 titles alone and nothing else, and it still we go down. We all know he'll leave with a legacy behind him, that's for sure. And you know, we talked about the longevity of his the span of his career and how competitive he's been for such a long time, boys. You know, and it's a credit to the man himself. Yeah, that's his results on a national stage. And might as well bring in the man, the myth, the legend himself. He's been waiting for a while, sitting at the back.
Yeah. He's been sitting there probably having a beer. Hey, Pete.
He's probably almost falling asleep.
You make me feel old.
But you are.
Pete, of the 5 New Zealand titles, stock car titles you won, quickly, mate. What was the one that you probably remember the most from those 5 titles?
Probably Huntley, actually. There was a bit of controversy, but we got there in the end, and it was my first one in Huntley. Good track, old Huntley. And it was back old school, stock car racing back then. So it was quite bruising.
Yep.
World of Stocks.
You just stopped talking there, Pete, or was he finished? Or was he gone
Yeah,
blank?
no, I'm still here.
Oh, he just stopped. Oh, yeah. He just sort of talking away, sounded like you're going to keep going, then stopped. Well, yeah. Oh, so you won the World of Stocks too, did he?
Yeah. Well, Sonia Rotorua put that event on, and we won that. Might have been 2 years in a row or 3 years. I can't remember. But they don't run that anymore.
Favorite car?
Wow, it's a hard question because I've had a few. You know, a new one every year, plus sometimes two a year. So probably the one against Rotorua teams. That was a good car.
In 2012, I think someone said there.
Yeah, 2012, correct? Yeah.
So I watched I watched a video a little while back that was put out by yourself, and you told everybody there that you'd never go back to a on the side motor ever. Down the middle is the way to go. What happened there, Pete?
Have you never seen anything that you haven't done?
every day I wake up, mate.
I think I got older and bigger, and I couldn't fit down the middle anymore.
Pete, what made you wanted to get into building stock car chassis in the first place?
Oh, it was a total accident, to be fair. I didn't really plan it. I mean, I don't know. I just wanted to do, like, building them's pretty cool. You gotta sit where I sit sometimes, and it's just being able to make your own design and do it. So it was pure accident. I just got into it.
There you go. You could do it too now, Ems.
Oh yeah, I'll probably trying to build hanging holes first before getting Pete, there's no shadow of a doubt, mate. Your chassis are top of the class in the sport right now. You've got drivers just flocking to you from every direction because they've seen how competitive and how much winning you guys are doing, and I guess they just want a piece of that. But as a racer, as a builder, come racer yourself, from building a car, what sort of process to go through? I'm thinking, like you go and race, you build it, you go and race it, and then would you say you'd go think about how can I improve it for the next chassis? Is that the kind of analogies you think about building, how you go on to build the next car after the current build?
Well, you're right, and because you're always thinking about, advancing and going better and trying things. But my advantage is all the guys behind me and my customers and my boys. You got Asher and Ethan, Josh, they all give us feedback. So you put all the feedback together, and that becomes in the next chassis or the next test.
Yep.
So we're always testing, and this year's been a big test for us actually, and my car's been the biggest test of all. And at the end of it, we dissect what works, and we come out with what we got. But feedback's real key with us, and we got heaps of people that give us feedback weekly. I mean, on Sundays my phone goes all day. If they've raced on Saturday night, and we get the feedback from the racing and from the so that just goes into in the memory bank, and we just go from there.
Wow.
How inaugural is it that having Asher, your boy there with you, helping you build these chassis, bouncing ideas off him, because he seems to have a real grasp of setting these things up and that. And I've sort of watched you guys on times where you talk about things, but I got no idea what you're saying when you're talking. But how important has that been for the advancement of your cars, having him there and bouncing ideas off each other?
Well, it's been key, and he is good like that because he can think a little bit more than I can, and then put Josh's and Ethan's feedback in, and all the other customers, and we come up with a result. And plus, don't forget, Asher can drive a real bad setup wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
So, so that helps. Well, it probably doesn't sometimes, but it's really good that he can do that, and the boys as well. So I'm pretty lucky as far as that goes.
Awesome.
And I just one more question before we go back onto the award side of it. Have you enjoyed yourself this year being part of trying to help make a difference in Speedway?
As in on the board?
On the board, yeah. Have you enjoyed your time?
Oh, I love it.
The last couple of years.
It's actually mind-blowingly different to what you think, but it's me. So I put my hand back up to go back in there. Hopefully we get back in there and actually enjoy it.
Oh,
awesome. That's really cool.
And just before we get out, and your thoughts on having the naming rights, naming you as the naming rights for this category, mate? How do you feel about that? What are your thoughts on that? Do you watch a bit of it? Look, I know you don't do a lot of the Facebook and that, but do you look occasions at the results and stuff to see where people are? Or
it's obviously an honour, and Anders does it his way, and it's pretty cool. And it's built up momentum over the last few years, obviously. So no, I actually really respect it. So thanks, Ames.
Awesome.
All right.
What? To get into
why do you go wait for you, Ames? Now I think we are.
Yeah, Pete, we appreciate you coming on to the show, mate, and it's always good to get an understanding from your point of perspective. You talking about your chassis building and the revolution, or the innovative ways you go about racing, building your cars year after year. And as I said before, mate, you guys have definitely been setting the benchmark these last several years. So kudos off to you guys. Keep up the good mahi in the shed, building these cars, and no doubt we'll come across each other next season for sure.
Cool.
And just quickly before we let you go, Pete, again, thank you for sponsoring 2 front wheels for the award. The recipient just needs to contact you to get that all sorted.
Yep. Here. Yep.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Pete.
Sweet. Thank you.
Get back in front of your TV now, mate.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Cheers, Pete.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, there we have it, guys. That's the man, the myth, the legend himself, Peter REES. Yeah, I mean, what more can we say about the man, boys? I said before, he's going to leave a great racing legacy behind him. And he's got his boys that'll still carry on after him as well. So the future
and his
definitely
daughter,
bright there for the and his daughter, yes, for the REES family for many years to come. And big thank you to Pete for supplying our winner, which we'll announce shortly. 2 front wheel rims, is that correct? Books.
Yeah.
2
2 front rims, for the
2
winner.
front rims for our winning recipient. But before we get into our finalists and announcing our winner, we'll just go back on the previous winner there, Kins, if you're able to bring up the graphic there. In 23 and 24. Your inaugural winner was Wade Sweeting, the Christchurch driver there, and of course last season was the young sensation there out of Wanganui, the Books and Kins, Mitchell Lockett. I'm pretty sure he had got into a points winning position just purely off the back of running the REES Tour, boys. And Books, I'm sure you'll be able to back me up on that one. Where you guys had travelled to go race, he was pretty much at the pointy end of the field every night those guys race. So, big shout out to Mitchell Lockett there out of Wanganui. And, we will go into announcing our finalists. Before we announce our winner, the Kins, if you're able to bring up the next graphic, please. And our finalist for the Peter REES medalist is Troy Cleveland, Daniel Burmeister and Harley Robb. And I will quickly touch on the points between those 3 drivers before we announce our winner in no particular order when I do find the graphic. Boys, this particular section was hotly contested points-wise. It went through the whole season. But your points between the top 3 drivers are 125. Boys, 2 points separated both first and second, 125 and 123. And third place, there's 116. But, we'll get into announcing our winner. Your winning recipient for the Peter REES medalist for stock car racing excellence season. And your winner is 2NZ Harley Robb. And there we have it, race fans. Your winning recipient of the Peter REES medalist for stock car racing excellence, 2NZ Harley Robb, the Christchurch driver there. I'm pretty sure he's Woodford Clean's favourite son. But we do have him in back studio. We bring him in now. Harley, mate, first and foremost, mate, congratulations on winning the Peter REES medalist for season 25-26. You had a massive season yourself. I saw it from a first eyes perspective. You had a really late start to the season, man, but once you did start, man, you didn't look back. I think you were winning a race a night everywhere you went, and of course you got the 2NZ on the car as well.
Yeah, no, we did start pretty late there. Brother's pretty busy, so we had to get the customers' cars out before the personal cars. We started a bit late, but as soon as we got out there, the car was on fire, and I think we like you said, won a race nearly every time we took it out. So no, it's pretty cool, eh?
And obviously the big highlights there with having the New Zealand Championship on home soil at Coke & Woodford Glen Speedway, mate. I was there. I was actually working for Jason, a team at the Pits TV. I was working the camera on the infield. I can assure you, mate, when the crowd had heard you go on to a podium position, mate, the place just absolutely blew up.
Yeah, no, it was pretty noisy being in the car, just on those cool down laps. After we get told we gotta wait on the track, so the crowd's going pretty nuts, and you don't know where you are. So now to pull that off, at home in front of the crowd as well, and coming under so much attention, was pretty rewarding, eh?
What was going through your mind? You'd come across the finish line at the end of the race there, and I'd seen you had pulled up just after the start from line. I think I'd seen some of your crew had come down by the fence to assure you, kind of reassure you, or give you a bit of heads up on where you actually got. And I could see the raw emotion from yourself in the car. But you look pretty ecstatic after finding out you'd got on the podium there.
Yeah, I was sort of a bit confused because I parked up, me and my brother at the front straight there, and they obviously come running down, and they had Caleb Island's 1NZ top on, and they kept pointing at that, and didn't know what they were going on about, so we just fired up and drove back round again, and then someone finally could hear them yelling out the 2, so I was chuffed no matter where I got, it's the closest I've ever been, so I didn't care where I was getting,
Yeah.
And of course, to go with the dream season as well, massive kudos to yourself, along with the rest of the Can-Do Fishing Crushers boys. Must have feeling pretty chuffed to have bring the title home to Woodford Glen after winning at Rotorua, yeah?
Yeah, no, that was another bogey I guess I had on my back. I've been chasing that one for years and come close actually in Huntley and never thought I'd come close to it again. And then I nearly didn't go to Rotorua this year, you know, just work and being busy. I said to Campbell, a couple of weeks out, I said, I don't know if I can make it. And he said, we'll make it happen. And I'm glad we went. And we pulled it off, and to bring it south for the first time, yeah, it's going to be massive down here. So it'll be good.
You talked about Campbell McManaway, obviously a massive driving force behind the lads and the team. But just tell us, let us know what does it mean to have a guy like that is able to just back the boys, you know? And yeah, obviously he was instrumental in helping to bring the title home as well.
Yeah, for sure. You know, he does a lot for me personally as well. You know, the super stock and stuff like that. And I actually got him into the Crushers as the thing. So yeah, he's been with us. I think 22 or 23 was the first year, and he puts a hell of a lot of money into that team. And he's sort of the only sponsor the team does have. And not just on the track stuff, it's off the track stuff. Him and Lindsay do for myself, the team, even team's drivers, you know, prepping food and the crayfish, the seafood, all that stuff we have. I tell you, working on the cars that next day, you don't want to go racing for the finals. Some of the boys probably got out. But no, it's bloody good. Yeah, we couldn't have won it without their support, you know, and the whole team's crew getting the cars out every time, you know. So it was pretty cool.
Did you end up eating the pun of the Kinners?
Still haven't tried a kinny yet, brother.
I don't think you're missing much, to be fair.
Nah, it's all right.
I'll chew on a gumboot at home. It'll probably be the same, eh?
Oh, Charlie's jumped in from the other side of the world, just sending a bit of a message. Send him photos. I'll leave it at
he loves the videos he gets. He's missing out.
Have a bit of fun. But what does it mean to you, you know, when you heard at the start the AMs mentioned the previous winners to this to win the award is, we were talking to Pete REES, you know, to have your name now etched in the third year running. What does that mean for you?
Yeah, you know, it's pretty cool, eh? Appreciate what you do, AMs, and the early starts. You know, I'm probably sometimes still driving home when you're getting up on the Sunday mornings from racing, chasing those points. But it's pretty cool, eh? You get a notification pop up on Facebook some weeks, and it's someone giving you a shit about beating you or passing you, or and you get on there, you have a bit of a laugh, eh? So no, it definitely drives you to show up to more events. And near the end there, I seen it was quite close. So I nearly loaded up and headed to Blenheim for that last 2 days. But it's a bit too much on the plate, you know. We'll just leave it at home, and it'll be what it'll be, and just hope. I think it was Troy or Daniel or someone. They were quite close. Hopefully they have a shitter, and we can stay at the top. So it sounded like it was pretty close.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. Yeah, it is Troy you did get second. We will go through the top 10 after we speak to you. But yeah, I spoke to Troy a couple of days ago to try and finalise those points. And you know, you and I were on messaging each other on the Snapchat the other day to get you on the show. But yeah, it was unfortunate to have dropped the race during that weekend, which unfortunately gave you that point advantage. But to be able to come out where you were, you know, having parked up after racing at, I think it was Greymouth, I believe. And, you know, as you just said before, you're really close. I'm thinking about loading up and headed to Blenheim. But, yeah, it sounds like you just didn't need to, mate. Those 2 points were enough to get you home.
Yeah, yeah, pretty cool to not have to load the car up and race another 2 days. But no, we were going to, and then just pulled the pin and just sort of be what it'll be, and it pulled off in our favour. So cheers to Troy for breaking down or whatever happened there.
And of course, guys, with the award every year, Pete puts up a couple of rims, so you've won a couple of front rims as well for your award. So that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, no. Oh cool, I didn't know that. Yeah, cheers Pete for sorting that out. I probably wrecked a couple of front rims at King of the Coast, so that'll replace them, which would be quite handy.
Yeah, just get in contact with Mr. REES and he'll organise your rims for you. So he always hands off. He always sponsors a couple of rims each year, hasn't he, AMS, for your award for the Peter REES ECHELON. So yeah.
No, that's cool. Cheers Pete for doing that for AMS and myself. You know, cool.
Quickly,
Awesome.
Harley, talk to us about these chassis that you and your brother are doing, man. It's no secret that Rob race cars, you guys are becoming you guys are pretty much the REES race cars of the South Island. But I was truly intrigued after watching last season, just the amount of drivers that flock to you guys for chassis. It's definitely shows that the Rob race cars chassis accompanied with the Ace motors is pretty potent combo, you would think.
Yeah, no, I can't take all the credit there. You know what, Dills, he started that off, and he gets pretty bugged off when people think it's me. So it's all him, and yeah, we just chip in the work and do the work in the shed as well, and help him out and fling ideas, and we get the cars out there, and I was sort of the test dummy most of the time, and this year we tested quite a bit in my personal car, and all 9 of the new cars that he and I are building, and his worker and Kahu and that, and all the boys helping out. They're all the same as my car from last year, so it just shows the ideas have worked, and the Ace Performance package from Chad. All 9 of those new cars are all Chad Ace new 9. I think actually 7 of them are Holdens and 2 are Falcons. So yeah, no, it's definitely working, and yeah, no, it's pretty cool, eh?
Cool.
And how many cars does Dill have going in the meantime for next season?
Yeah, so 9 new ones for this season coming up. Yep. So we've moved on, sold his car, his partner Sinead's car. He had a couple of lease cars, I think, as well. He's got back. I'm not sure what he's doing with them. And then my car's still sitting there. I should have the motor back on Friday. From Speedway New Zealand, they just wanted to check it, so get that back on Friday, and it should be good.
Man, awesome.
Hey, that's all. Everything's good, and one of those chassis is coming to the North Island too.
Yeah, maybe 2. I won't say too much, but yeah.
I know one of them definitely is.
Yeah, one of them is, and I won't say too much, but there's a couple going north this year, which will be pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, and just a credit, I see Robbie maybe made a comment before. We'll just thank him. He helped the crushers out as well in Rotorua. So yeah, cheers, Robbie. I forgot about that. Appreciate it.
One more
Harley
question.
will get you some kinders, Robbie. Harley will bring some kinders with you.
We had he didn't even want to touch the seafood we had in his workshop. I should have hit a pun of the kinders out near the back, now at the back near his lathe, so he'd come across it one day.
One more question, Harley, before we let you go back to Mahi. We talked to Pete before you had come on about the revolutionary changes he had done. It's no secret his chassis have been quite the benchmark as well. But for yourself and Dills, what is in your guys' eyes? What do you think makes your guys' chassis that gives it that competitive edge over some of the other cars nowadays?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one. I know we just like trying things. I guess like anything, you gotta try things to get that edge, and we're forever trying things. Sometimes it doesn't work, and now like obviously with Pete, he's got so many 300 odd cars out there. I think Dill's only got probably, I think we've got with all these ones this year might be around 30, 32. So we're starting to get a little bit of feedback, like Pete said, to the customers, which then we can say, oh, we've tried this might help, and you're always getting that little bit back. Like there's some little bits and pieces you're going to try this year again, just to try that little bit of edge. But yeah, I don't know. It's just it seems to be working and going good, so we can't complain, eh?
Awesome.
Well, Harley, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, mate. Thank you for coming on the show. Congratulations again, winner of the REES stock car medalist for stock car racing excellence, mate. We'll let you go back to May so you can get the treats, and yeah, best of luck for next season. We'll catch up again, eh?
Cheers, bro, and cheers for everything you do. It's bloody cool for following your East series, and cheers, Kinzer and Books. We'll catch up for you, Zane.
All right,
Cheers,
bro.
mate. Thanks,
See ya.
Thank you, mate.
Say good day to Papa Rob for me.
He's probably at the pub.
Yeah, I know. I had a good beer with him when I was down there last, mate, so I'm happy.
Sweet as boys. See you later.
Thank you, mate. Well, there we have it, race fans. Your winner and winning recipient of the REES medalist for stock car racing excellence for season 25-26. Just before we move on to the next one, Kins, I will quickly touch on his stats from the season and just like I've been doing beforehand with the other drivers. 13 events. It shows here on the Speed Hive app that he has been racing in season 25-26, 44 races, 17 wins, 27 podiums, 32 top 5 boys. 15 times he said the best lap time. His average finishing position was 7th place, 434 total laps, and his time race and overall 3 hours, 48 minutes, and 3 seconds. And as a consequence of that, boys, he is the Peter REES medalist winner for season 25-26. Well done.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right,
And
shall I bring up the points?
Yeah, we will bring in the final points for the Peter REES Medalist Award. As we just mentioned before, your winning recipient, 2NZ Harley Rob there on 125. Yeah, boys, I don't think it couldn't get any closer than that. 123 points there for Troy Cleveland there in second. Daniel Burmeister, he's been competitive throughout the whole season as well, boys, as we know. There in third place around at the podium. Jack Rarity there in fourth. Sam Wright in fifth. Caleb Wyland, he's been pretty good as well. Josh Mulcahy been doing good things out of Palmerston North. Likewise, Rawdon Winstanley, Clinton Cheatham, boys, we saw how competitive he was during the season as well. It's just unfortunate that most of his commitments we saw actually went towards the Raiders. He had done a lot of teams racing during last season, but as a consequence of that, he is part of the winning Raiders team from last night's Echelon. Will Pilcher, he was quite the surprise driver. He had a strong season, finishing to season 25-26 to get in the points position to round out the top 10, boys, for the Peter REES Medalist Awards. Good stuff.
Awesome. Well done, Harley.
Shall we? Oh, sorry, I was going to say we haven't got anyone to turn up for the
Superstock.
PENN Superstock PENN. Shall we just quickly brush through that and then we can bring in the teams one, if we quickly, because no one to bring in. Let's just go through it. The Shane Penn Award. There we go.
Yeah, Shane Penn, first impression, boys, of the man himself. For me personally, I love Shane in his prime. When he was in his prime, boys, he was untouchable. I'm talking all the good traits of a stock car racer. He had speed. He was fast. I just love the way he was able to move through traffic and how to evade cars and get around block cars when he was teams. We all seen what he done during in his team's racing career. He represented everything. I thought there was a very good stock car driver, and it took him a while to finally get the monkey off his back in winning the New Zealand Superstock Championships. He was finally able to do it in 2013 in Nelson. And when he did, he actually went on to win back-to-back titles at Miani the following year. But for me, guys, apart from his results, it was just what he represented as a driver on and off the track. As I just talked about his traits before, what I thought that would define the perfect stock car driver. And he's just absolute class off the track as well, boys. And we all know his other than his racing prowess before he retired, how good he is with engineering side of things, especially with the gearboxes and stuff as well. So your thoughts, boys, on the man himself, Shane Penn, real quickly.
I think for me, Ams, to be fair, is the fact that you're talking about a guy that when he first jumped in a stock car, couldn't wait to get out of it, didn't want to race it, didn't want to be a part of it, and then sort of just the old man said, "You're doing it," apparently, and look what he achieved, from someone that hated it when he hopped in a stock car for the first time to what he achieved. That's the bit that blows me away, because generally when someone doesn't like something, that talent doesn't come with it. You don't see the results because you're not enjoying yourself. But obviously he came to love it. And for me, that's the big standout for me for Shane Penn was that. I mean, obviously watching him do all the stuff. I wished he'd stayed at Hawke's Bay, but he went to Palmy, which I'm also from Palmy, but that's originally. But yeah, for me that was a standout for me for Shane, was for someone that didn't want to be there, then to achieve what he achieved. You got to take your hat off for that, don't you, kids?
Oh, 100%, Box. And I'll just use one word here: charismatic. On and off the track, I've got memories in the red car, the 5B back in the day, back in the good old Hawke's Bay days, loving what he did there. And when you think of the name Penn, that lives on, that family name in particular in the sport just lives on. I don't need to get into full details on that. And then, of course, made the transition from the B to the P, and the rest is history, And the Silver Bullet, I need to add more to that when you think about what he's achieved there as well. the accolades that came with the domination of the Panthers alongside another man we had on the show just a few minutes ago. He had it all, and I can understand why he is the naming of this particular award, because what he brought on the track, and to go back to back, I think from memory, with the title. But yeah, and the opportunity to sit there with him up in Auckland, have a chat with him, and we caught up with the recent.
Right. Kids was smoozing, mate. He was smoozing up there in the Wakaraka box.
and even to catch up at the recent awards held up there in Auckland. Yeah, just to meet someone of that caliber that entertained so many fans up and down the country, because he is well travelled as well, by the way. Good car, good machinery, and talented on the track.
Yeah, I just wanted to harp back on about Book's talk about, his first time driving. He absolutely hated it. And then, the history will tell what happened after that. But I just couldn't think of a better person that actually motivated him to get behind the wheel, And I'm assuming that's his old man, Bryce, and we all knew how good Bryce was as well. So, but yeah, I think for me personally, being able to see Shane finally win the title in 2013 and now, so we all, most avid fans will know how good that Heat 3 from that title was. It was an absolute warfare. It was Nelson versus Palmer. We saw Craig Boot there. He was looking at a fourth title. And he was very close. Unfortunately, it wasn't. But to finally see Shane Penn finally get it, we saw the heartbreak in Auckland back in 2006 as well when Darcy Hunter won him. And the exploits that happened for Darcy to be able to win that title. But yeah, it's all good though. We were able to put that behind ourselves now. And I know Shane, he went on to win 2 New Zealand Superstock title kins. Be able to bring up his results real quickly. 2 New Zealand Superstock titles won there for Shane Penn. 3 times he was the New Zealand Superstock Grand Prix champion, and once he won. Just the one time he won the North Island title. And but those are just some of his accolades he got on the national stage. I hate to know how many race wins, club championships, regional championships, and the World 240s. He's a Grand Slam. He's part of the Grand Slam club, and that is a very elite club from my understanding, boys. But yeah, well done to the man himself there, Shane Penn. But we move on real quickly to the previous winners. Kins, if you ever go to the next graphic, please. And the name says it all right there, boys. REES has completely made this his own competition. Back-to-back wins there, winner in 23 and 24, and of course last season, the season before last season, actually 24 and 25. From memory, he banked so much points off the back of the REES Tour as well. Books, you were there to see it. Every night he went out there, was absolutely competitive, and I think that was a kind of driving force of what got him across the line to win the Shane Penn medalist last season.
Well, if you look at that there, 23-24 REES, 24-25 REES, this comes back to what we talked about last night when I was talking about how Brad represents that 1NZ well, and he's been going back to back of his, because as a 1NZ, he drives around the country and he goes to all the tracks. Well, that was Asher. As a 1NZ, Asher went to as many tracks as he could go to and race as much as he could to represent that 1NZ. And that shows in these awards, because that's what it's about, is getting the meetings done, getting on the podium, getting up there and racing as much as you can. And that's what Asher did. And that's why he is up there doing it. Because when he was 1NZ, mate, he travelled everywhere. The amount of tracks and races he ran, and that's it, eh? And that's what we said last night. True champion like Brad Lane.
Yep, you're not wrong there, Books. And we will quickly move on, and we'll go to our finalists now. Kins, if you're able to go to the next graphic, please. The Shane Penn Medalist Award for Superstock Racing Excellence finalist, Scott Tennant. He's been doing great things last season as well. He won the North Island Championship, as we saw, at McDonald's Key Speedway. Dale Robertson, he'd been a solid contender throughout the whole year as well. And, of course, Todd Hemingway, boys. I thought he was in fine form heading into the New Zealand Championship there in Wellington. Obviously, the 1NZ had left the chat, unfortunately, after his Heat 1 escapade there in the finals. But it doesn't matter, he sees himself as a finalist for the Shane Penn Medalist Awards, boys.
100%. All right, well, better push the music and...
Yep. will. Your is Todd Hemingway, boys, your Shane Penn medalist. And unfortunately, Todd wasn't able to join us on the show tonight. Well, it was a 50-50 split, really. Those who had known personally, that he's got a couple of family matters to attend to for the meantime. I won't go into detail what those things are. I'm sure everyone will see it over Facebook within the next 48 hours. But it does sound very exciting anyway. But big, massive shout out to Todd Hemingway, your winning recipient for the Shane Penn Medalist Award for season 25 and 26. And we'll go on to just harp on about some of his race data from season 25, 26. He had done 16 events, boys, 44 races, 13 wins, 18 podiums, 25 top fives, 13 time. He set the lap record. Average finishing position was 9th, a total of 400 laps, and a total race time of 3 hours, 11 minutes, 53 seconds, boys. And off the back of all those stats, it's not hard to see why he's the winning recipient for this award, boys. Hey.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
well,
Yeah.
we've seen the points accumulator over the time we've been running these awards and catching up with you prior to that break you had, Ams, and he just led from the start of the opening meeting. You know, he seemed to be winning nearly everything he was going to be honest with you. And it was no
He had
surprise.
a great start to the year, didn't he?
Oh, he did.
Like at Wakaraka and all that.
Yeah,
he was
everywhere.
He had a very good start to the season. So yeah, he was set himself well.
Yeah.
Yep, he sure did. And yeah, I think once we got to the Easter break, I didn't think it was probably something I didn't really take into perspective. But after the Easter break, well, actually at the Easter break, when I started taking the points into secrecy, a lot of the tracks had started shutting up shop. So there wasn't really there was very little opportunity for the other drivers to make inroads on that. But we will get into the final top 10 of the points. It's just to show how far ahead he was. Kins, if you're able to bring up the graphic, please. But once again, your running recipient for the Shane Penn medalist for Superstock Racing Excellence. If you're able to bring it up, did it actually come through?
No, you haven't got that one. You're going to have to run with that one, my bro.
That's all right. Yeah, I probably had too much hanging to send that one through as well. But I've got it here on my screen. Don't worry, I've got it here on my screen. As I said before, your winning recipient, Todd Hemingway, 135 points he got, boys. Dale Robertson was home in second, 111. Yeah, 135, 111. Yeah, it's
a big gap.
Up here. It's up here. Look, you can't even see my hand in the screen anymore. That's how much. Scotty Tennant was home there in third on 105. Shane Harwood, unbelievable, boys. The amount of meetings that the Nelson boys had, they didn't have many race meetings as much as what the North Island guys had, but for Shane to get up to fourth there, massive effort, you know. And he was on 101 alongside William Humphreys there to complete the top five. Jaden Ward, he's in 60 on 100 points. Cody McKee, 99. Hamish Booker, 95. Alex Hill, 90 points. And Malcolm Ngartai, the Cantabrian legend there, on 88 points. But that's actually
awesome.
Not much between those points, boys, if you ask me.
Not much at all. Just shows the caliber of drivers that are in those machines, and the whole season pretty well, you know, showed that. They gave it as good as they could around the countryside, and might bring on next year, you know, it's going to be pretty full on when the next season rolls around. But we'll continue on at 25 past 8 and move on to what I'm guessing.
The final award for the night.
Final award for the night, boys. And it is,
someone's been very patiently sitting in the background. We've got to say thanks for that.
Yeah. Well, I did tell him he was going to come on last or towards the end anyway. I'm not too sure if you've got that graphic either, Kins. Oh, you did as well. Yeah, and it's the J-MAK Speedway Chronicles teams echelon for super stocks, much the same as the teams echelon for the stock cars that are done last night. But that's a shout out to J-MAK Speedway Chronicles, or Marcus Markey, if you know him personally. Probably the most well-known travelled Speedway fans or passionate fans you'd ever come across that travels the length and breadth of our beautiful country, boys. They've taken the Speedway action. Of course, he's got his own Facebook page now, and the following that he has, and the results and the photos and the many videos that he posts is just he just loves the speedway racing as much as we do, boys. But the teams echelon, same thing as last night, race fans, is team standings for super stock teams, much like the stock car teams we've done last night. And Like there's just one team, boys, that just stood out from the rest. I'm pretty sure I sent that graphic in as well to you. You might as well put it up if you did. But take nothing away. Oh yeah, we'll mention our previous winners as well. The Auckland All Stars inaugural winners there in 23 and 24, and Palmy Panthers were champions from last season in 24 and 25, and we will now arrive at our overall winner for I don't think you need to think hard too much about this one, boys. But the Gisborne Giants, they just, wow, boys, just unreal season, man. It's just to be able to do everything, without a loss. I'm not too sure if you actually got that graphic as well, Kins. Yeah, you did. But, yeah. Well, I mean, what more can I say, boys? They just had an absolute dream season, if you ask me, to be able to win, I think it might have been 4 titles in their entirety from the season just gone. They done the Palmy invasion, which they won. They won the Palmy Teams Champs. They went to Wanganui for the 50th anniversary, and they came up trumps from there as well. And then they just topped it off in Auckland for the Teams Nationals there, boys. Eh? I don't think anybody will be able to top that anytime soon.
And there you go. And they've just brought out. And they just brought out an awesome looking
T-shirt,
awesome T-shirt and hoodies and singlets as well, which is you want to jump on. I've ordered mine, so yeah, get amongst it.
Yeah, we might as well bring in the man himself, representing on behalf of the Giants, Mr. Ethan REES. I call him the Big E's. He's probably not that big. But Ethan REES, bro, just like I said before, man, a massive season from you guys. To be able to go the whole season without a loss, it's truly a massive effort from you guys as a collective, man. You just, yeah, I mean, what do you think was the secret behind your guys' success?
Nah, cheers, Ams. It's quite a cool thing to achieve this award of the Giants. And then I guess for us, last season started this time. To be fair, last season is we got together as a group and created a group chat and just started communicating and sort of set some goals together. Nothing too major, just sort of personal goals to work on. And a big part of our success is our management team. Obviously, Scotty Ross, Brendan Lemont, and obviously the old man, Peter REES. I guess having a good group of guys that want the same result is part of our success as well.
I think also as well, Ethan, is of what we're watching you guys and watching your new guys come in and as the teams racing's gone on, some of your guys have really got better and better, like the likes of Brad McGee, for example. His racing and his team's prowess is getting just better and better. It's topping it up. And then you've also got, I mean, it wasn't a team's race, but that last final race at Auckland with the All-In, Regan PENN, I've never seen him drive like that in a race the way he was just attacking everything. I mean, you must be so proud of how far these other drivers have come in your team, and that must be a huge part of your success, the way they're developing.
Yeah, definitely, Brooks. One thing the Giants has never lacked for the last 10 years or 11 years is quality drivers, but to turn those drivers into team races can be quite challenging at times, and then to work as a team as well is the next step. But I say we brought in the likes of Brad McGee, Regan PENN, Sean Gooch, head-to-head run with us, and they all went in and they all stepped up, in my opinion. In particular, Brad and Regan, who carried on from the Palmy extravaganza through to Palmy teams to Wanganui and Auckland, and they stepped up not only in teamsville, like you said, individual racing they were going well as well, and the culture we've built is a big part of our success as well. Just having everyone's back, regardless where it is or what it is, we've all got each other's back, eh?
Yeah, it's that off-track stuff, Aikens. We talk about all the time, that camaraderie between the teams, and you see the teams that do well on the track are doing so well off the track as well, And to me, I just think that's a huge part of success for teams, because once you're in sync off the track, it's not a big step to be in sync on the track,
Yeah, just a lot of the success is taken off the track, like you're saying. We've spoken to these gentlemen over the time as well, you know, and they've all been there at the REES shed and jumped on as well. And yeah, see, Brits is watching now. Look at that.
Ethan and Rara doing it to him. Rara and Brits are getting them.
But see, that's it there. You know, with them, the fun, the laughter, and they're enjoying themselves. Off the track, the fun will just bond it into switch on. We've got to do the job at hand now. Their flag's going to drop if we want to get their checkered. And that's just how I saw them evolve. Was it 14 straight wins in a row? Is that on the t-shirt net? Like that, but
yeah, exactly. Kins. Like we're us the team is lucky enough to have a stable, I guess you could call it, like dads or REES race cars. We all get together before each team's event. Majority of myself, Asher, and Brad and Josh are there of the team's weeks, you know, Monday through to Friday, and then race obviously Saturday and carry on. And then obviously having everyone at the same shed, you know, Regan and Tim come down, for example, and they spend 2 or 3 days there, and it's just, I mean, Booker's been there. It's all, we literally just take the piss out of everyone. It's all like banter. But then come Friday or Saturday of teams events, we started the fun, but then we know when it's time to click into gear, and then after that it just happens. It's all part of it.
I had the hard job there this year, Kins. I had to sit there and drink beer while they were.
Well, roadies, you them roadies, all those bloody roadies.
We just bloody roadies here, gets me every time.
Always roadies.
But with their success, look, with the success, even tonight, with what you've achieved with the ECHELON Award, I know, obviously, with all the social media impact, you see the photos of you guys celebrating with your other awards just recently, but the whole Giants thing has just changed, the fanfare, and you see them out there in the parades in their massive numbers bouncing around on the back of these big rigs. You see the merch everywhere. You know, it's just next level, and that's what it's about, the importance of the fanfare that follow and support you guys up and down the country. Just as important, though, you know, when you have sponsors, because of the tight and the tough financial situation the country's bloody in, but it's a whole lot of things that make up the success.
Yeah, I'll touch on that. I mean, the Giants have been back for 10 years, and we've had plenty of highs and plenty of lows, and we've always, one thing that's never changed is the fans. They've always stuck beside us and picked us up on social media and backed us when they needed to, and in saying that, so have the sponsors. There's a massive list, and I've listed them 4 times already this season. But hey, like, there's a massive list, and as Brendan Lumont's called it at this season's unveiling and McVerry's, you know, they're the day ones, or since day dot. You know, we've got quite a few sponsors that have been on board for the last 10 years. A few more that have come on board the last recent years, but they've always been there. They've always supported us. They've always had our back, regardless of how well we've done. If we finish second or third or 11th or whatever it might have been, you know, they've always been there, and they've always been proud to put their name on our cars, which is a big thing for us. So, and we appreciate that.
It's an awesome achievement. I mean, no one can deny it, really. I mean, I don't think we've seen a year like that. Weekends in the memory books. Anyone in the thing tell us that we've seen such a domination from one team in 1 year. Because the other thing too is, you got to remember, that's 4 team events, which we don't normally see as well in a year. We don't normally see 4 teams events like that, you know. And it could have been if Huntley went off like we'd hope it would, it could have been there as well. So are you guys looking at or thinking about maybe doing the Huntley one next year to win the one you haven't won yet? Or you have won at Huntley though, I think, haven't you, Gizzy? Have they won?
Yeah, we have. We won it our first year there, I believe. 2021 or 2022 maybe. But hey, like we always, Huntley's an event we want to do. Unfortunately, it's always we're building new cars, as Dad said, and sometimes those cars are not ready for that event. We were fortunate last season, or this season, sorry, for the Palmy extravaganza that myself and Josh, the whole team basically didn't build new cars besides Asher, and he was lucky enough to get his old car back for that one weekend. So, hey, this season we're doing new cars, and if we're done before Huntley, I mean, hey, we might look at it. But our first our first planned teams event would be that Palmy Extravaganza, when that may be. Only because it's a good event. Palmy's obviously the ultimate place the teams race at, with having Palmy teams here in early February. So there's no better track to get practice or chuck some new guys in to get an idea of how it all works. And yeah, it's just the ultimate place for teams race at, in my opinion. And then obviously, you know, hats off to Wanganui, who come back strong this season. They had a big, massive turn of events last season, as we've all said. So I believe they pulled off an awesome weekend, and I believe the crowd backed it. And having you know many teams there was awesome. And fingers crossed, Rangi and the Wanganui team can rally back in and get another teams event there, because I think it'll be another hit.
Yeah.
And obviously Auckland's always good. You know, there was a bit of controversy there before we went racing this season. But as the racing went on, that proved it all went well, and I believe it was a cracker meeting. It was an awesome meeting. And again, next season we can bring it on.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sure can.
Well,
after your guys' success from the season just gone, mate, where to is it from here for you guys now? What's the plans in motion for you guys to take it to the next level? What's going on for the team in the meantime?
I think Chris Cowling summed it up perfectly. I mean, he obviously, his average position was second, and he could have probably done better, so he reckons, and got first. So, I mean, hey, we've obviously, I guess, dominated this season, as it's been pretty announced publicly. But we're very humble. We all know that the only way to go from here is down. So we're all together. We've got some, as I say, experienced drivers, some experienced managing team, and we all are working hard already to better ourselves for next season. How that looks, I don't know, but we've got a few people to bring back into the party. We've got obviously the likes of James Clark, who unfortunately missed the Giants this season and went race Wildcat, so he's another contender to be in the team. Sean Gooch has got his motor back, so he's ready to go, along with myself, Asher, Tim, Regan Penn, and Brad McGee. We've got Sam Hughes, so we've got a good squad to pick from. But we're literally just getting ready to do it all again, and just keep on going, and remember to have fun, and just as we've always said to each other, you know, winners a team, losers a team. No matter what happens, we've got each other's back, and who really cares? Just have some fun and keep smiling.
Yeah.
You mentioned those drivers returning there. You think off the back of that game we'll see the rebirth of the development team again?
It's something that it's at the time was real cool to do. It did probably create a bit of in-house battles and in-house rivalry, which in some respects not a bad thing. But when you're trying to create a team culture, sometimes having the two teams can be a bit hard. I mean, one thing us Giants, and it stems from Dad, you know, if you don't make the cut on the main team and you have got offers to go elsewhere, take that up and go race with someone else, because it betters your skills and it furthers your team racing knowledge, and then it gives us a good insight on saying, well, hang on, you missed our team and you've done well, so next team you're back in our team, you know. I mean, hey, the development team thing was great. We probably could look at doing a little inter-club battle up in Gizzy, you know, if having, like I said, 10 drivers keen, we could look at doing a bit of a team race up there. But I think for now we'll just stick to the one team and really refine it and make a good thing out of it.
I just want to quickly harp back to the Palmy's team champs. You know, the history will show you guys went on to win that. I just wanted to get your first impressions from a driver. What was it like for you when you crossed the finish line, knowing in the final, knowing you guys had got the mahi done? You know, we all knew what happened after you got out of the cars, and you guys were highly emotional about winning it. You know, that's how much it meant to you guys. But your first impressions that went through your mind after knowing that you won it, after going across the finish line there?
To be honest, Hams, I'm glad you asked this. I was sort of, my emotions left me against Christchurch. That was the race we targeted. Obviously, in Christchurch have been the best team for the last 3 or 4 years, and they've shown on track and off track. And we we targeted that race like you wouldn't believe. And when we crossed the line for that one, when I crossed the line with one Asher for the semi, I was in hysterics there. I was so stoked, so proud of the team. And then the final couldn't actually come quicker and couldn't have gone any better for us, to be fair. Little old Regan Penn jumped in and put his big boy pants on and led us from start to finish, basically. And at first I realised I knew we were sort of there or thereabouts, but it wasn't until I seen that big firework go off, I was like, holy crap, we've just won this event.
Yeah.
But in terms of emotion-wise, like I say, I think I lost all my tears and emotion in that the semi-final, because we were, that was a race that myself, Ash and Josh, we were targeting from the first race of the weekend, to be fair. But hey, it was awesome to go to the infield and see all the crowd and crew rush to us drivers and, congratulate us, and lucky enough to have obviously Brittany and my boy Archie there. Emmett was at home because he's always he's a little bit of a shit, so he stayed home. But having the kids there tops it off, because I remember when the Panthers first won and the old man was part of the team, and they went obviously onto their massive win streak, but I was there at that moment, and that was quite a cool spectator moment for me. So to have my kids there and live it all up was real awesome.
It's interesting being able to mention that your emotions had left you after the Christchurch, the semi-final, and it was just a shame that the way the draw went. No, would have been cool for that to actually be the final. But as you said, you said your emotions left you, but you guys have won that. What did you have to do from there to kind of bring it back down to ground zero and say, hey, yeah, we did get the win against these guys. They've been the bench setters those last several years, but what did you have to do mentally to calm down and, hey, we still got another mahi to do? What was going through your mind then?
Well, thankfully, again, I passed it back to the management team. We've got some real level-headed and cool-headed and humbling managers to sort of put us back at bay. Myself anyway, but having Ash, Josh, and REES and Brad and a whole team environment, real humbling team. Like we don't take a win and we don't run with it and go everywhere else. We're after every team event or every team's race, we reset as if it's zero and go again and keep going again. I guess that's part of a winning formation is being humble, and it's how you win and how you lose type thing, as I said before. So it was quite easy to get grounded again, and plus we had a whole lot of damage. So literally, I think I might have had like a mouthful of water between the semi-final and the final, because we're running around fixing everyone's cars, and we had 4 out of our 6 cars on extra stands, and we had a lot of damage to get through. So we had no time to think about the final. But lucky enough, Dad, Scotty, and Brendan got together and formulated a plan. I mean, hey, we all know that Stratford team's no easy team to beat, especially now with the addition of the James brothers. They've definitely stepped that team up a big thing in my opinion. So, but yeah, again, our management team got us through that one, to be fair.
Of course, off the back of your guys' success, there was guys that helped you. Mentioned before, the guys that are helping you off the track. But just looking at the winner graphic now on my side of the screen, and you guys have a plethora of sponsors on the card. But be sure to let everybody know who those sponsors are, man, and to give them acknowledgement as well.
Yeah, I'll do my best. But hey, we've got Heathworth Poultry Farm, McVeary Crawford, Brent Body Prestige, REES Race Cars, McCaffrey Metal Cartage, Calhoun Construction, City Smart Repairs, Total Sheet Metals, Cleaners Wholesale, Napa, who's new this season, Broadway Auto Electrical, who's new this season again, McIntyre, Napier, Tyre General in Gisborne, Hartley Race Engines. They don't sponsor us, but they're a big supporter of us, team and personally. RMD, the list goes on. Rollins Transport, there's many. I've probably missed a few, and I do apologise, but I say we've had a whole lot of day dots, as Brendan calls them, out of construction thing to Brendan. But hey, I had some day dots and some new ones come on board, and I believe next season everyone's already committed to coming back on board, considering the crisis and stuff. So it's cool to have as a team, and real humbling too. So thank you all.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, Ethan, we appreciate you coming on the show, bro. Congratulations once again off the back of your guys' success from season 25, 26, and now Superstock teams, Echelon winners, mate. Thank you for coming on the show, and we look forward to seeing what's the next installment for the Giants for next season.
No, thanks, Ems. As everyone said, it's something I guess I look to as a personal thing, individual racing and teams, and to see the Giants come out on top of your, cool series is awesome. So thanks to you for doing it. And to Books and Kins, I always thank you guys, and I will always continue to thank you guys. So thanks for promoting our sport, and as everyone said, keeping us together through the winter. It's a big thing. So thank you, and awesome.
Awesome.
Cheers,
bro.
Ethan.
Thank you.
Have a good night, mate.
Awesome.
Cheers.
The reality of this is thank you to all of those drivers over the whole Speedway season. Doesn't matter what class they go through the pit gate on or what they register and sign up for. They're entertainers right through the whole country.
Yeah.
It's the reason why we go through this proceed, and Ames does a lot of work over those X amount of weeks to collate points to celebrate on what has been happening over the last 2 nights with the Pokeno Only and Speedway Awards of Excellence. But just going back to Ethan there, well-spoken young man. He's had to speak a lot, obviously, with this amazing season for them. But I tend to go back to what his father's always been strong about, and it's a word called respect. And you can see that from Ethan. You can hear it from there. It's respect that is given back to those last 10 years of supporters with lows, and now they can celebrate the highs and enjoy the success of their team. And next year, there will be teams out there that will be looking to knock them off that perch, because 14 straight wins is a massive milestone, especially in Superstock teams. That is unbelievable. So there will be that team. And as Ethan said, their focus was the team that was dominating Palmy, which was Christchurch to Glen Eagles. But they all are deserved winners. All of the accolades to everyone that was celebrated over the last 2 nights. There's not much more I can say, but what a wonderful night. Well, Caudle Brain is wanting to go to bed very soon.
Mate, we are well past our normal time.
Yeah.
I was ready to go to bed at 8 o'clock.
Shut up.
Hey, look, on that, thanks to everybody. Thank you, Ams, again for your awards and allowing us here at Cockpit Media and Trackside to host it for you. We do appreciate it, and we really do enjoy it. So thank you for that. And the work, people got to realize that we may host this award for him, but we do bugger all. He's done all that work in the background, people, and we're just promoting it and giving it a platform and a privilege to be behind it, Aikens. So our hat goes to you, Ams, for the work that you do right through the season, mate. It's outstanding. And look, thanks for letting us host it for you. And we look forward to continuing this relationship with you and keep hosting and giving you your segment next season.
Yep, absolutely, boys. And likewise for myself, I can't thank you guys enough. You guys have been with me. As Ethan's here, since day dot. From the first time I started these awards, you guys have backed me all the way, and I'll be forever grateful for that. 3 years now I've been doing this, and I don't know how much longer I'll be able to wake up every Sunday morning to carry on doing this, but it looks like it's going to be carrying on for a little bit more longer. But special shout out to those who are tuned in via the live telecast, whether you're watching on the Facebook page, also on the YouTube channel as well. Big thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming in to watch the awards tonight. Trust you've enjoyed watching it as much as we have enjoyed bringing it to you. For the majority of the 25-26 season. I think I said it last night, it was like 25 weeks of competition, and it all came down to these last 2 nights. We awarded some well-worthy recipients of off the back of merit, boys, might I add. They worked hard for these awards, and the points showed in some of those sections for those awards. But I'll recap quickly our winners from the past 2 nights. Obviously, the Alan Wakeling Medalist Award winner was Jonathan Allard from last night, as well as the Roger Bertram Medalist Award winner, Brad Lane, 3 in a row for him. The Tonu Cardwell Medalist winner, Chris Cowling. the Peter Rees Stock Car medalist, Harley Rob, and the Super Stock or the Champion medalist for Super Stock Racing Excellence is Todd Hemingway, and our Echelons winner for the Stock Car teams is the Waikato Raiders. And as we just had our last guest on, Ethan, along with the Gisborne Giants, are worthy recipients of the Super Stock teams Echelon, brought to you by both Legacy Speed Media. Big thank you to Muddy and J-MAK Speedway Chronicles. Big thank you to Marcus, boys. From the bottom of my heart, it's been my absolute pleasure to be on the show these last 2 nights. And for now, we can enjoy the off season. I can have a well-deserved rest now. And I guess we'll be back into it come October, Labour weekend. But yeah, I guess for some of us, the Speedway season couldn't come long enough. And for the others, it's a two-edged sword. The other edge of the sword is that, oh man, we're trying to have a break here, but the Speedway will come around before you know it, boys. But as I said, boys, it's been my absolute pleasure being a part of the show, and as well as you guys through my weekly installment through the season. Thank you once again, and yeah, bring on next season.
Absolutely. And on that note, Kins, I think it's time to say good night, isn't it?
Yeah. Run away! Run
away!
There we go.
Good night. Farewell. It's time to say goodbye.
See you Monday. See you Monday for e-racing. See you on Monday.
Yeah. See you, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.